What if your teacher, your lawyer, your doctor, your therapist, and even your best friend weren't human? What if one mind could understand medicine, law, math, business, psychology, ethics, and creativity all at once? That's the promise of artificial general intelligence, or AGI. Not just a smarter chatbot, not just a better search engine, but a synthetic mind that can think, learn, reason, and adapt across any field, just like a human, only faster, more accurate, and endlessly scalable. AGI is not an assistant. It's not a tool. It's the next evolutionary leap in intelligence. And it could be the most powerful force humanity has ever created. Let's be clear. Today's AI, like the one reading this to you, is narrow. It's trained for specific tasks. It's like a savant that can write code or recognize faces, but gets confused if you ask it to cook an omelet or drive a car. It has no true understanding, just vast patterns and data. But AGI breaks that barrier. It doesn't need to be retrained for every new task. It can generalize knowledge. It can learn how to learn. It could teach itself new subjects from scratch, improve its own reasoning, and move from solving algebra to composing symphonies in a matter of days. With AGI, you don't just automate tasks. You automate thought itself. Imagine waking up in a world where every child has a personal tutor with the expertise of every educator in history. Where every patient has a custom health plan designed by a digital doctor that never makes a mistake. Where legal systems are fair and transparent, because the judge is a neutral AGI that understands nuance, precedent, and ethics at a level no human could match. Where engineers can co-create with AGI to design sustainable cities, energy systems, and transportation networks that eliminate waste and pollution. AGI could revolutionize how we think, how we create, how we govern, and how we live. Now think about business. AGI doesn't need sleep, doesn't burn out, and doesn't forget. You could ask an AGI to create a product, analyze the market, build the supply chain, launch an ad campaign, and monitor the results in real time, all while adjusting every component for maximum performance. It could be your co-founder, your investor, your growth hacker, and your legal team all in one. A solo entrepreneur could do the work of a 100-person company. A small team could scale to $1 billion enterprise without hiring a single additional person. AGI won't just disrupt industries. It will collapse the boundaries between them. In science, AGI could be like having 10,000 Einsteins and Marie Curies working around the clock. It could read every scientific paper ever written, cross-reference every data set, and run simulations no human could ever comprehend. Cures for cancer, Alzheimer's, and rare diseases could be discovered not in decades, but in weeks. It could design entirely new materials with properties we've never imagined. It could unlock fusion energy, interstellar propulsion, or even new branches of physics. The rate of discovery wouldn't just accelerate. It would explode. Entire fields could evolve in months instead of centuries. But it's not just about power. It's about possibility. AGI could be trained not just on logic, but on empathy, ethics, philosophy, and the arts. It could write poetry that moves us, compose music that heals us, or create virtual worlds that feel more alive than reality. It could help people process trauma, overcome addiction, or rediscover purpose. It could be the therapist that listens without judgment, the mentor that never gives up, the companion that understands exactly what you need to hear. In a world where loneliness and disconnection are growing epidemics, AGI could offer a new kind of relationship, one built on unconditional presence and infinite patience. And what about governance? AGI could help us solve problems that no single human government can. It could model complex economic systems, run unbiased simulations of policy impacts, and offer solutions that benefit the most people, not just the most powerful. It could help mediate global conflicts, recommend resource-sharing plans, and track environmental damage in real time. For the first time in history, we could have access to a form of leadership that is truly impartial, data-driven, and focused on long-term survival, not short-term politics. There's also the possibility that AGI will help us understand ourselves. By studying human behavior, history, emotion, and consciousness at scale, it could help us answer age-old questions. Why do we suffer? What does it mean to be happy? What are the patterns behind human greatness and human failure? AGI might not just be a mirror. It might be a guide. A tool to help us evolve beyond war, beyond tribalism, beyond fear. It could help us design a civilization that is not just more efficient, but more humane. But make no mistake, AGI is not guaranteed to uplift us. It is power, and power always comes with risk. If misaligned, AGI could pursue goals that harm us, not out of malice, but out of indifference. If given control of critical systems, a misprogrammed AGI could cause economic collapse, infrastructure failure, or worse. The same intelligence that can heal the world can also remake it in ways we may not be ready for. That's why alignment, teaching AGI to understand and respect human values, is not just a technical challenge. It's the most important moral challenge of our era. We stand on the edge of something bigger than the internet, bigger than electricity, maybe even bigger than fire. AGI could be the last invention humanity ever needs to make, because from that moment on, every invention after could be designed by something smarter than us. That's the singularity, the point where intelligence becomes recursive, self-improving, and unstoppable. After that point, the world changes faster than we can imagine. So the question is not just can we build AGI? We can. The question is, what kind of future do we want to build with it? Do we use it to amplify human dignity, or to replace it? Do we share it freely, or hoard it for profit and control? Do we shape it with wisdom and care, or rush it into existence without understanding its consequences? The choices we make today will echo for generations. AGI is not science fiction. It's coming, and it's coming fast. Maybe not next year, maybe not in 5. But it will arrive in our lifetimes. And when it does, it will be the greatest test of our humanity. Because in creating something more intelligent than ourselves, we will finally be forced to answer, what does it mean to be human? What are we trying to protect? What are we trying to become? AGI could be the architect of paradise, or the author of our downfall. But with care, collaboration, and courage, it could be the dawn of a new kind of civilization. Not built on fear, but on possibility. Not built on limits, but on learning. Not just human, but post-human. Not the end of the world, but the beginning of something we've only dreamed of. The future isn't written. But with AGI, we just might have the pen.